What's up guys, Ramses here with a new video. Today we're going to be reviewing Harasen, one of the best ice climbers in the world. We don't really have offline gameplay from Harasen, however he did recently place extremely well in the Smash World Tour Japan qualifiers. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than usual because rather than me explaining what I'm seeing, I'm trying to learn alongside you. So in a way you might learn even more than usual. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below and I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy. So guys, what we're gonna review Harasen. Should be good. I actually know very little about ice climbers. All I know about them, I said this before. All I know about them is that they side B, and then when they hit you, they do stupid damage. So today we're gonna be finding out what Harasen, arguably the best ice climbers in the world right now. We don't know for sure, of course. Ice climbers very underrepresented, but definitely one of the contenders. I just want to see how he approaches it. So we're gonna see how does he approach the matchup, and what are some of I'm really interested to see what the neutral plan is for Harasen, because I kind of understand ice climber touches you kind of die. I understand their offstage pressure as well. I feel like generally it's been very similar between the games, but yeah, I'm open for a surprise. Okay. Ooh, immediate conversion. What did he hit the blizzard off of even? Oh, it was just like a awkward interaction, I guess. What was Gakt even trying to do there? That's so weird. He empty landed, stood still. He probably mistimed an aerial. Nice tech on the jab lock. What the hell? Was that a desync? Because I think he hit one of the climbers, right? So Popo shields, Nana shields? Or Nana was still in the animation. So he hits Nana. What the hell? And then Popo jumps side B's out of shield. Interesting. Big fire, of course. Up tilt, back air. Such big damage. I feel like, so from what I've seen of Harasen, and I've watched a little bit of his footage, again, not really in-depth, not really analytical, but my impression is that a lot of his pressure relies on the implied threat of how much damage he does when he hits the opponent, right? So even though Ice Climber's neutral isn't amazing, you know, once they hit you, they get so much reward that you have to play around it that much more. And I feel like between Blizzard is actually low-key. Blizzard is a pretty good mid-range control tool, and having a lasting hitbox like Blizzard in Ultimate is so key because of how, especially how spot dodges work. It can also allow you, say that you see the opponent jump and you can actually Blizzard and try to control the entire area. And because there's so many variations on jump, you can actually cover more of the jump variations with that Blizzard. Especially against a floaty character who stays in the air a little bit more. But yeah, of course, fair from the ledge, Nest classics, and then the upside out of shield on the dash attack. Yeah, let's actually look it up. I wonder how fast is Ice Climber's upside out of shield. I wonder how good their shield is. So we can go to miscellaneous info. Out of shield, neutral has 9, upper is 10, backer is 11. Is up smash slower than that? 12 frames. So their out of shield is actually kind of bad, honestly. But we did see the jump out of shield side B after hitting Nana, which I guess makes sense because the backer hits the shield first, then it hits Nana, so then it goes into the hit lag, and during that time, Popo can actually drop shield in side B. It's frame 10, which is not slow at all actually. So if we compare that, neutral air is frame 9, back air or up air is frame 10, back air is frame 11, up smash is frame 12, side B is frame 13 if you jump it. That's actually pretty good. Frame 13 out of shield. I mean, it could be. I mean, of course, it could be better. That's not bad at all. That's interesting actually.
Pretty cool stuff.
Okay, so again, the side B out of shield. Yep, into big damage, no tech. Ooh, try to reset. Harasen, interesting. Okay. So I guess he... Oh, I get what he's going for. So I was like, he deserts Nana to ensure he lives, which makes sense. Because like he could have actually like tried to fast fall and like challenge this to try to save Nana, but instead he goes over, ensures he recovers himself, then challenges, and then recovers Nana. So I guess the counterplay to this would be for Gakt to just hit Nana once. So he gets this hit, hits Nana here, then weaves back to try to wall Popo off. And then when Popo and Nana are both in hitstun, then you try to hit either one of them. Though I guess it would be hard to hit Popo here. You would have to like drop down and double jump back air the ice climber. But you basically need to ensure that you're always pressuring one or the other. And I think that's where he went wrong here. So because he focused on pressuring Nana, but afterwards like he was in lag so Popo could pressure him. He's not pressuring any of the ice climbers, and that is where you go wrong. So you need to, even if it's not the same ice climber, you need to always be pressuring one or the other. Oh, you can kill Nana there. Yep. That's a little bit unlucky, I guess. Cause like,
I'm seeing it happen. It is absolutely incredible.
He hit Popo with a single hit, and Harasen got a buffered air dodge, and then Nana just kind of messes around. Yep, makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
It's part of the reason why people call ice climbers bad, right? Is because because of how janky Nana can be. Side B, good retreat. But the retreat is actually pretty safe. You just sacrifice a lot of stage control. And there's a blizzard. Damn, that was smart actually. He read the jump from cross stage. Like control the air with one ice block. And then Gakt reacted to the ice block and jumped and got his jump read. That is crazy coverage, guys. That's crazy. And then the conversion too. Yep. Try to parry. If they fix Nana, ice climbers would actually be a lot better. Yeah. Up tilt, up air. Yep. Double up air hits. That's such a good move. That up air. Oof, I don't know. I think side B is pretty unsafe, right? I think it's pretty unsafe. Ice climbers. It's like minus 30, something like minus 20, 21. So you weave it back and then it's actually decently safe since they have to drop the shield and then they have like 10 frames to get over to you, which means that overall it's pretty safe. But then you drop a lot of advantage in terms of like stage control. And if it's on a shield, of course, it's very punishable. I actually don't know, like, those type of moves actually frustrate me the most, guys. Because, like, I don't mind if a move has good reward and it's super safe, because then it's just, like, a constant threat. Whereas with Ice Climbers, every time you roll the dice, and it's, like, super high risk, high reward. So it makes the character automatically a little bit more swingy. But it stops a lot of hits, and it forces you to play more passively. And I think that is probably the most important thing when you're playing as Ice Climbers, based on what we've seen so far, is like the mix-up between are you going to press buttons or are you going to respect them. That was good. Everything is a time mix-up because it all hits twice, right? Again, making sure that one of the Ice Climbers doesn't get pressured so that you can, you can save the other. Okay, Blizzard Wall. Yeah, Blizzard is good. And then, because Gakt presses so many buttons, the side B is so good in this matchup. Gakt's offensive mix-ups are really good, though. Like, he's been anti-landing very well. This is another example of, like, a really good anti-land. And, like, generally, like, the way he mixes up his aggression like that, up B, stuff like that, is really, really good. Oh, and then he drops the punish. That's big. So, like, if you think about a situation like that, like, you only have about 10 frames from this point onwards to hit Ice Climbers. I think he could maybe, like, dash attack. But, like, man, that's actually really hard to react to. Footstool, the platform messed them up, actually. On the back air. I think Ice Climbers... Ooh, they actually profit a little bit off of, like, how do I put this? I think a lot of characters, they force you to be precise, and while Ice Climbers combos are precise, their neutral feels a little bit less precise because of how lasting Blizzard is, and because all their moves hit like twice, so you get more active frames. Is that it? Yep. Interesting. I feel like the core mix-up that you're playing as Ice Climbers is always around like pressing buttons versus respecting them. But in the case of Gokt, where like for one he presses a lot of buttons, and two he didn't punish the side B appropriately, that is probably like the worst case scenario. Probably like the worst case scenario by far. Ooh, side B over the ledge.
This is a much better choice, I feel like, for Gak.
Yep, and dude, this is so consistent by Harasen, right? So one Ice Climber gets caught, the other one gets out, he retreats, so that even if Nana gets hit, he doesn't get hit, and then he saves the other Ice Climbers. Again, no punish on the side B. Apparent. Oh, the conversions. That could be. That's so scary, dude. Yeah, so I think. Oh my god. Oh my god, that combo! Harasen. No way, he's dead? He died in like 2 interactions. Are you kidding me? That's crazy, dude. This character is a threat.
Not even Taylor Swift could shake that one off. You know what I'm saying? It's over.
Yeah, the players are good. Their players.
So I think so I've noticed that IC's side B is much safer when rising into the air for the final hit. It actually doesn't do anything for them. But it means that, so say that this is the ground and they side B and they end up here, then some dash attacks will actually probably go under or maybe hit the weak hit, stuff like that. I think that's why they do it. Plus, they probably get a little bit of extra air drift when they're in the air, so they can mix up their landing just a little bit more. And they only get additional landing lag when they go into free fall. And if they're in the lag animation while they're falling, so that's basically what they do. They're in the lag animation while they're up here. They actually, how do you put it? They don't go into free fall yet because they're still like in the lag animation, so it doesn't incur extra lag. So you get a little bit of extra mix-up. But yeah, I think the way Gak plays is definitely not how you want to do it, because when you start scrapping with Ice Climbers, they start to get their like big reward. So you generally just want to play keep away and force them to approach you, and like mix up with some projectiles, especially if you have projectiles. I think one of Ice Climber's main weaknesses, right, is that they cannot parry. So doing things that are safe on shield but unsafe on parry is also like pretty good. So something like Marth can actually do a lot more nair because their parrying is worse. Isis can make the last of side B whiff on shield by retreating. Right, so that's another 50-50, right? So they can do the final hit on shield or don't do it on shield. But yeah, I think generally against Ice Climbers you want to be camping because they actually don't have, like, their mid-range is basically just their Blizzard range in a lot of ways because their dash tech isn't that great for as far as I know. And then, of course, their side B has a little bit of extra burst range. But I think what you generally want Ice Climbers to do is you want them to start relying on side B and then start punishing the side B. Because when they get access to their other tools and you play that type of mix-up, the mix-up is generally in their favor from what I can gather. So it seems like the more you play defensively, the more they're forced to rely on side B to kind of catch you out for moving around too much. And the more they start relying on side B, the more openings it will create for you. Mjolnir says, generally it's better to not do anything if you shield them due to the move giving a 6-frame window to desync afterwards. It's better to challenge the move until you parry, unless you parry the last hit. I see. Okay. That's good to know.
They're going to play and they're going to keep on playing as that first stock. In glorious fashion, I'm going to Harasen.
And then there's the punish.
Is this it?
I would like to see his
Oh
internet
my god.
speed.
Yep. We can see the desyncs. Oh, the SD. I see what's happening.
13%. Okay, obviously there's platform interference there. It's still a stock, obviously, but only 13%.
Okay.
To Gak's entire first stock. This is where Ness is going to shine, though, trying to carry him all the way up stage.
Yeah, and because Nana was untouched, he still got the good up B. Makes sense.
I mean, at that point, I wouldn't blame him if he did.
Yep, side B, up tilt. Yep, that's big damage. 50%. As again, most of their openings, when people try to punish side B, they will usually have Nana Blizzard and Purple Shield afterwards that can deal a lot of damage. So, Mjolnir, the side B is like -21, right? Because like the first hit hits, and then the second hit hits a little bit delayed, I assume, and that's why it's -21 instead of -24, which is like the solo Ice Climber shield advantage. So wouldn't it be worth it if you have a move that can reach that far in that time to try to punish it? Or is it that like it's -21 for like the for Nana but not for Popo? Is there like some frame data fuckery going on? Because it sounds like if it's -21 and you have something that has the range, like for example like a Chroma be out of shield, like even if they can desync, they shouldn't be able to do so in time if they're in the range. So I'll continue watching. It's a standard move because they're together. There's no Nana frame. Oh, I see. Okay. It's just a different version, which is why it gives a 6-frame window to desync. I see. That's good to know.
Look at that too. That was a big deal. That was great by Gagged. Yeah.
I gotta say, Ice Climber side B has to be like a top 5 most infuriating move to get hit by.
Yeah. It's really good.
Ooh,
okay.
Yep. Yo-Yo, very good against hitboxes or recoveries without like a good hitbox.
Air dodge or something would have been bad there. So that was great.
Downer. Yeah, at this point, Harasen can basically do anything, right? So let's watch the final kill. There you go. Just smash him. It's too ambiguous to be punish on shield. Okay, that makes sense. But the hitbox isn't great. Let's actually take a look at the hitbox because I think it's very good knowledge. That's actually not bad, honestly. That's actually not bad. Oh, I shouldn't do that. Yeah, that's a little disjointed though. That's a little disjointed, and on both sides every single time. You'll always lose or trade. Okay. I mean, I guess it isn't really active often because it's like 1 frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 frame. Oh, even for the last hit, not even more. And if you trade in the air, Popo's in free fall. I see. So what? Yeah. So it's kind of what we talked about in the sense that you generally want to run away from Ice Climbers, and then if they're forced to side B, you can then contest instead of like trying to shield around it. What do you think Ice Climber does best against people that kind of like play evasively? Because like the best thing I've seen so far is the way Harasen uses desync Blizzard to catch jumps, which I think is pretty interesting. But like in terms of horizontal chase, their chase is pretty bad. And projectiles, yeah, that's what we've been talking about as well. Projectile use.
Man, my goodness.
That's what chat was asking.
I think, like, theoretically, Ice Climber probably does pretty decently against, like, close-range fighters like Ness, even though Ness himself has, like, a projectile, but something like Mario that needs to be, like, a little bit up closer to get their damage. I think even that could even be a little bit rough. But then I guess Mario has Flood, too, which probably messes up their AI, stuff like that.
Ranked 99th in Japan, according to our stats channel. So thank you for actually putting that together. But now we're seeing this is what I expected you to put. Talking about having that
side B out of shield is kind of nice though. I'm surprised. I never really thought about like jump side B out of shield. It's frame 13, which again isn't fast, but it can catch a lot of it can catch a lot of things actually. So something like this forward air, like this is not punishable, but it's definitely disadvantageous for Ness. So if he spot dodges or rolls back here, it both gets covered by side B. Even if he jumps, it probably got covered there. You can desync off of your shield getting hit by projectiles and start a Nana Blizzard while Popo is free to approach. I see. Ah, so you get the solo side B as well. Thanks, Mjolnir. That's really good to know, all that knowledge. It does definitely look like Gok doesn't know how to play the matchup though.
Doing a really great job, shadowing his second climber to make sure that the bad things don't happen to them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, waiting it out. Goes with the up tilt into the up air. So
I didn't know. Yeah, Gok doesn't look great in this matchup, but it's mostly experience in my opinion. I was surprised that this converts into walk up tilt. That's crazy. He probably could have mashed out of that, right?
That was so smart. Good DI though by Gag. Barely living that. That was such a good job. Like, I love the up tilt there because it just lingers for so
And it
long that
covers the roll. And that's, again, that's so good about the aerials is that they hit twice. So you get like, you get these active frames, which miss, and then the Nana active frames, which hit. That's crazy.
For so long that even if they mash out like fast or slow,
Maybe not as they. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, there's always circumstances, right? Good punish on the throw, too. Is that consistent? If you throw one of the climbers, can the other one... Or is it only if you throw Nana, can Popo then punish? Bear hits in front on the last frame. Dang, this character has so much to him. To them. Let's take a look at their Becker hitbox. Oh yeah, look at that. That's crazy, dude. This is like the reverse of Shulk Becker in Smash 4. Oh, is that access though? But like, because the hand probably sticks close to like the shoulder, so it probably hits consistently. You can usually punish. Sometimes you have to parry the collateral hitbox of the throw. That makes sense.
Harasen, as we've seen, converts off of every
That's actually like even less reason to be up close against the ice climbers.
Combo routes like measured at all percent for every scenario. And it's,
dash attack to up air.
Looking really,
Yep.
really bad for
How minus is their dash attack? How minus is their dash attack? Oh, that's pretty bad actually. Minus 18 if you hit both the climbers.
Gonna go high,
I think most situations in which you dash attack, you would rather use side B. But I guess in that juggle where you need the frame data of the dash attack, that's the only situation in which dash attack is best. And the side B, yep, no punish. So I guess characters that can wall well also do better against ice climbers, because when ice climbers like whiffs the side B and you shield, you can then at least like wall them out and possibly corner them. At least at up air at 0% or at higher percent if they DI poorly. I see.
Is converting off of every single one of these hits. So if you're gacked, you're definitely terrified. The floor is lava and everything is
right.
at this point.
It got buffed.
It's so funny that the ice climbers, right? But
The juggling is actually pretty solid. Side B out of shield. Yep. Now they're in the corner, and that's why they got punished. So that's actually the desync you were talking about, Mjolnir, I think. So they let Nana Blizzard after the side B. So Blizzard, desync, side B plus shield. That's pretty good. Because this is both defense and offense, right? So you have both the shield out on the most important climber and a hitbox out. And if they punish Nana, Popo can actually out of shield and punish the punish, like we saw before. That's kind of crazy. That's actually really good. Is side B the main way to set up this scenario, Mjolnir, or can you set this up from like landing aerials or like maybe even ice blocks? I don't know how good their ice blocks are, and that I don't really see it too much. Out of shield solo side B is pretty good. Synced side B can whiff because you hit pretty high. That makes sense. Yeah. I definitely like this is probably the most nasty thing I've seen ice climbers do on from a conceptual standpoint so far. Because like I said, it's defense and attack at the same time.
This guy is thinking ahead, dude.
But the projectile again kind of messing that up. So that's partially probably why projectiles are so good. Back air. That was weird. What did it got whiff there? The side B? I'm surprised he whiffed the side B. He barely missed the Nana normal getup. Side B is the most consistent desync setup, but there are others. I see. Oh, that was a desync setup. Dash side B, or dash neutral B. Up tilt, footstool, Blizzard, forward throws. No way! That he just did it. And there was no tech possible either, right? What was Nana doing in that desync setup? That's crazy, dude. Jump, dash back, Popo, dash back, up tilt, and then Nana does a dash back to the left, gets pulled to Popo, and then up tilts. That's so weird. Soy milk desync. Soy milk desync. This is so interesting. Soy milk desync guide. Oh, you get a turnaround animation. I see. see.
To perform your desync, you'll have to make sure the ice climbers are already in their as it allows them to throw out any of their grounded moves and become desynced at almost any instant in time. In order
That's
to perform your
crazy.
desync, you'll have
Oh,
to
there it is. Yeah, same thing. That's so cool. That's actually really interesting.
Hit her, but Gak couldn't make.
It takes a while to set up, though, in this scenario, it feels like. But maybe he just didn't do it as fast as he could have, or he intentionally delayed it. Probably that.
The floor is lava, and everything is
That's
lava.
crazy.
This Gak,
He literally just said, "Oh, you exist? No,
see this before.
existent."
Hit her, but Gak,
Wait.
Gak's opportunity to make.
Side B out of shield. He's off stage. He double jumps poorly. Dash under, up tilt. No, that was actually pretty fast.
After her hit her.
And then the second up tilt, footstool, no tech, blizzard. Actually, probably can reaction beat all of the tech options here.
Better play. Oh, hold on. What's
If your controller isn't good, Nana can do a weird dash instead of a standard desync. That's
going on
horrible.
here, though, Coop? I've seen this before. That's it.
That's really good. That's really good. I think what's really put on display by Harasen generally is like what I like about Harasen's play is the mix between defense and offense, honestly. Because like you guys in chat said, I assume you're both Ice Climbers players. I know Mjolnir played Ice Climbers, even though he's probably onto greener pastures, I hope. You can react to anything if you footslip the Legend Blizzard catches. Exactly, yeah, that makes sense. So I feel like the side B out of shield is just such a strong tool for Ice Climbers because of how, like, even if it doesn't punish, like we saw, it sets up like a desync scenario, which then kind of like gets the Blizzard plus the shield out, which is really good. And even though their neutral seems to be pretty subpar, it feels like if you can just play to like the fundamental ideas of defense and offense, you can at least create some openings. And a single opening, like we've seen it lead to like 50% damage time and time again. And I think like Gokt definitely looked a little bit too swingy in these matches, and I mean we know he's better than that, right? But on the other hand, you can also say like he got conditioned to some degree, right? Because like we saw him try to like play more avoidance, get called out for it. We saw like for example, I mentioned it before, like the desync Blizzard to the platform. We saw him try to focus on like on Popo, and then like because Nana was untouched, the recovery was still fine. We saw him focus on Nana. Popo just saves the character. We even saw the throw come out on like Nana, and then Popo saving the other character. So I think like it looked like a lot of matchup inexperience, and I actually feel like if you don't know what the character does, like it's actually so hard to like figure out like exactly like this. It's so hard to figure out what exactly you need to prioritize. They also, like, in terms of hitboxes, they also are super lenient. Like, side B lasts forever, Blizzard lasts forever. The aerials are double hits. And just overall giving you a lot of room to just kind of, like, throw it out, see how the opponent handles it. And, yeah, you just cover more options than the average character would, which I think is pretty interesting. But then, of course, they do require a lot of precision in their combos, and I assume against an opponent who's more focused on like playing anti Ice Climbers, a little bit more defensive, they actually become like their neutral becomes a lot more nuanced. Interesting stuff. Would like to see some of Harasen's gameplay offline. But for now, I think that's gonna be all. I think I'm gonna send you guys.